What's going on, everybody? Edge0626, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Really quick, just want to say thank you for all the support you gave me on EBCW week last week. I greatly appreciate it. For those of you who are new here, hopefully you check out the WWE 2K20 content if that is your type of thing. If not, check it out anyway, and if it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea. But anyway, today's topic is something that has been in the news for a very, 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 very long time. Basically since the start of 2020. Now everyone's, it's the new year. Everybody's like, oh man, I can't wait. New year, new me bullshit. Oh, I can't wait for what 2020 brings me. Oh, I'm going to kick ass this year, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, the United States government basically, gave a big fuck you to Iran and basically killed their lead general or top general. I don't know how big of a role this guy had in the military, but we killed the top general in Iran. Now, I could have saw this coming a mile away, and believe me when I tell you guys, I'm not a political person. I'm not here to stir up shit, whether, Trump was wrong to do it, Trump was right to do it. I'm just here to give you guys my thoughts on the subject with a possible war in Iran. But, like I said, I could have saw shit like this coming a mile away. Iran is pretty, I don't want to say powerful in the Middle East, but they're definitely a country to be reckoned with when it comes to politics and how they run their country, yada, yada, yada. And to be fair, the U.S. never really left the Middle East. Everyone's saying like, oh, the war in Iraq is over, blah, blah, blah. Not really. The war in Iraq has been pretty much going on since they declared that it was over because, lots of insurgency armies or what's the word I'm looking for? Just a bunch of armies like ISIS and other guerrilla warfare armies. They're all there still. We never really left Iraq. I mean, just look at what happened with ISIS. We went straight back in a couple of years later. Afghanistan is its own separate shit show. Now Iran. Whoo. And there's a lot of people that are like scared to death. There are people like, oh, the U.S. can't afford a war. We have so many problems here in the country. And I'm sitting here I'm basically sitting here laughing my ass off, eating popcorn, thinking to myself, oh, everybody's just so fucked. We're all just so fucked. Because, why Iran's got nuclear weapons. We basically know that. Iran has powerful allies like, I think North Korea is an ally. I'm not entirely sure. Russia might also be an ally as well. I feel for the U.S. troops, man. For those of you, I have friends that have been in the Army, old and young. I have family members that have been in the Army. They told me their experiences. I don't want to wish any of that on anyone, especially a kid, 18 to 22 years old, that sort of thing. Who's getting thrown in. He joins the military thinking, oh, it's not going to be too bad. I'm going to give my service to the country and be done with it after a couple of years. Maybe I'll do I'll be a whole serving my whole life. Who knows? Maybe he wants to serve his whole life like a member in his family or something. Well, and some of these guys, like I said, are looking like, oh, we're not gonna we're not gonna go to war or whatever. We have one of the greatest militaries in the world. We can fucking obliterate anyone. Which is also true, but I just feel bad, man. I just feel bad for some of the shit that's going down in the Middle East, and all these soldiers gotta deal with it. The whole deal with the embassy in Iraq, how militant forces were sieging the embassy, that sort of shit. God, it's just crazy, man. A lot of people are also saying that Iran's numbers are, they're not terrible as an army, but ours is obviously bigger. Basically, there's people comparing numbers. Oh, Iran has a smaller army than the U.S. They have smaller reserves. We'll definitely handle them pretty well. You're not thinking clearly, because obviously, if Iran has a pact with, North Korea has guys that they can send. If they are allies with Russia, which I don't know off the top of my head, so don't quote me on it, but if Iran is, for whatever reason, allies with Russia, do you know how big the size of Russia is? Let me give you guys a history lesson. In World War II, Hitler's biggest fucking mistake was attacking Russia. So basically, if we attack Iran, and if Russia gets involved, we have to deal with Russia. The Russian, army are fucking nuts. Have you seen Spetsnaz special training? That shit's insane. They would fucking murder us. Just by sheer size alone. Now, I don't know about technology, because I haven't really focused too much on, what technology they use for tanks and other forms of, bombs and shit, but they're definitely a force to be reckoned with, and we would be fucked if they got involved. That's just flat out. However, the silver lining in all this whole World War III talk is the memes. The memes are fucking brilliant. I have not laughed this hard or this early in the year, because this time of year I'm more or less depressed. It's January in New Jersey. I'm miserable. It's cold as fuck out. It's the new year, so it's another year. I don't really give a shit. And then all this World War III talk starts happening. Then the memes, they're just flying in, man. They're flying in one after another. I'm getting a fucking great laugh out of this. Between this and the NFL playoff memes, I'm so happy. I don't think I've ever had a better start to a year. But all jokes aside, this is pretty serious shit. I don't know how to fathom this. I mean, I don't even know how to fuck this country with how fucked we are with the young people. I don't want to sound like a boomer. I mean, I'm 22 years old and shit, but with how fucked that people my age are in the head, I don't see how reliable they would be in a draft. Now, I personally can't be drafted. I'm flat-footed, I'm colorblind, and I have a bad knee from a previous injury, which I've actually talked about in the past on the channel. I alone basically am done for. Now, if for whatever reason I was drafted still, I would do my service to the best I can do, And if I'm going to die, I'm going to go out swinging. I mean, if I have this idea in my head where it's like, and even when I play video games where it's like, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out taking as many guys as I possibly could. Like Rambo. Like straight up Rambo style. That's what I would do. But I'm not going to get drafted. So it doesn't matter. Just because of just because of injuries alone, probably I wouldn't get drafted, because I don't know how I would even perform with, a bad knee in a military boot camp. It's just bonkers, But that's all I gotta say, man. What do you guys think about this whole World War III shit? Again, I don't want to make it political. There's a little bit of lightheartedness to this, again, like I said, with the memes. Like, what are you guys thinking here? Like, are you worried you're going to get drafted? Are you worried for any family members or friends? Do you think a war in Iran is possible? With Iran is possible? Do you think if Russia gets involved, we're fucked? Because I think if Russia gets involved, we're fucked. I mean, at that point, we'll just call it quits. Hey, truce. I don't want to get involved with Russia. Anyway, that's all I got to say, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments section. I'll see you all in the next one. Stay safe out there, military men. Have a good one.